last week.
Yeah, Abigail.
I have started the recording.
We didn't talk about that. God damn it!
I feel like we mentioned it for a second.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if the conversation happened in or out of character.
Zoe went home.
Uh-huh.
People found out Zoe is rich and actually named Abigail.
I mean,
Abby.
Zoe's not just rich.
The cultists weren't kidding when they said princess.
Not why they call her princess.
It's not just money.
Be slightly powerful.
Uh-huh.
Hypothetically, Zoe is the second most influential political entity in the party.
Second.
Yes.
Second.
Yeah.
Your power's not on this continent.
Well, technically, Carcamine is part of the continent. It's like an island off the coast.
Is it England?
Basically.
Oh no!
It's imagine if England, Iceland, and Sicily had a baby.
So what I meant was powerful as England, not.
So that means that Wi-Fi Island is the Isle of Man?
Maybe.
There's still a lot of feels involved with Wi-Fi Island.
Anyway, back to recapping.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a lovely time, and we started out and we went to go see the city, and nothing of importance happened.
We learned that the head butler, the equivalent of Downton Abbey's Carson, is a dick.
He's a shitty motherfucker is what he is.
He's not a butler, he's a steward.
Head butler, steward, whatever.
Yes, but that was his official title.
So if we call him a butler, will he get offended?
Probably.
Oh, probably.
Okay,
just
good.
note that down.
Malice stole a pillow.
Malice acquired a pillow.
He took ownership of
yes.
I have the image in my head of that cat with the tiger stuffy.
Yeah, it's just dragging it through its legs.
Yeah.
Knocked it open over tea kettle.
Fire break a bed.
Mm-hmm.
So Abigail fixed the bed.
Zoe has not said a single word since they left the house.
Yep, the next morning, you all were going out on the town to do some errands. Gwen came with you.
Stumbled across a murder scene.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Possibly linked to the cult of the Shaba.
Unlucky that.
Yeah.
And that was the end of the session.
Was it? I feel like there was one last thing that happened at the end.
Some minor details, nothing important. A boat docked in the port. I think it was red or green.
Definitely not mithril. We know that.
Nah, it's not ringing a bell.
Yeah,
I don't know what
definitely no platinum sales.
Fire knows nothing.
I think
knows nothing.
Quite technically, we ended with Rizwan saying something like "oh shit" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she might have just gone, "Oh fuck."
Then that is where we will pick up. The six of you, along with Gwen, and a couple of guards that Rizwan dragged along.
Sorry.
Yes.
The sister is Gwen.
Yes.
The mother?
Gabrielle.
Okay. Both with G.
Yes.
Nicholas?
Yes.
Okay.
The six of you with Gwen and a couple of guards that Rizwan dragged along who are hanging back a bit. You are all standing by the water near the harbor district, very close to where the Carcamont embassy would be, which was your original destination, when a couple of you saw a very platinum-colored ship out of the corner of your eye.
I thought it was only one of us.
No, we multiple people saw it because we were looking down in the harbor, and Cheney said it's a gigantic, like junk style ship with like how many masts? 3, 4 masts.
People that rolled greater than 20 were Amelis, Zoe, and Rizwan.
6.
And I'm assuming multiple people would have pointed out, or the fact that Rizwan probably stopped in her tracks.
Mm-hmm. Gwen is looking back at everybody, noticing that people stopped. Is everything okay?
So Zoe comes out of her own stupor and goes over to Rizwan and just holds her hand.
I think it takes a second for that to register.
After it registers, I just come and say, they can't possibly be here for you. There's no way news travels that fast.
Who?
I just take Fire to the side. You remember the old Imperial Capital? And when those black shades switched to big platinum things that kind of looked like angry men in armor? Jabs finger at the ship. And then
Fire gives a. Oh, I get
and then
it.
pokes you several
Just,
times in the chest in a scale.
just to get out of the lecture.
So Fire doesn't really get it.
No, but it says, no, I get it. Don't worry about it.
I get it. I don't get it.
Fire, these people hunt evil red dragons, or evil dragons. He whispers very softly in Fire's ear.
Oh, that's bad.
No, they hunt evil.
That too.
That's good, I think.
No, it's what they perceive as evil.
Ah, it's the evil that I don't know.
No,
Hey.
Fire.
Gwen,
Yeah?
you know the city fairly well.
Um,
Where's the best hairdresser?
I can have our hairdresser come visit you tonight.
Why don't we go get our hair done right now?
Fire start with, but I want to watch the.
Fire in the
Alright,
shins.
okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And she'll like hold her hand out to Gwen and look at the rest of you and be like, "We'll catch up with you later."
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you really sure?
Yes.
Okay.
So Gwen takes Brislin's hand.
Is Zoe coming with us?
You think Zoe's let go yet?
Probably not.
That's your answer.
Splitting the party.
Perfect. So with
I'll get the address from Gwen as to where this hairdresser is.
Does Gwen actually know, since the hairdresser comes to the
I go
house?
over to the guard and ask.
Gwen. Let me pull out some dice and roll something here. My nice new fancy dice.
What are they made of?
I don't know, but it's some kind of gemstone. It sure ain't plastic because they're heavy.
Where did it come from?
Wormwood.
Neat.
Yeah. You, Camille, make an insight check.
Okay. Nope.
Okay. She, like, kind of comes up close to you and whispers in your ear, directions to a place.
Okay.
And then goes back and takes Rizwan's hand again. We'll just wait for you there, I guess.
Yeah. I'll give Pert the address as well, the directions.
Well, have fun.
Uh-huh. I give Rizwan a concerned look.
She gives an entirely unconvincing smile back.
I think
I will keep an eye on her.
he just makes a face like, hey, but he's gonna keep an eye on you.
Sorry, what was that?
But who's gonna keep an eye on you? Is the kind of face he makes.
Gwen. And the nice guards here.
Yeah, the guards are coming with us.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well, one of them will be with us the whole time. I got an errand for the other one to run.
All right.
That won't happen until we get where we're going now.
Okay. As you three walk away with the guards behind you, Gwen leans over to Abigail and whispers, "Don't tell Mom about this."
Oh my.
Eyebrow raise? I'm the one who keeps secrets in this family.
It's not a secret, exactly.
Okay.
And she leads you through a few city streets, away from the harbor. Make a perception check. The two of you that are going this direction.
That's about right.
Womp, womp. There are many people that pass you by. None that you recognize. None that like set off your danger sense. Zoe has cloth in her eyes. It's kind of hard to see. You're just kind of letting Rizwan lead you, who is being led by Gwen, through the streets.
On that note, should I be rolling with disadvantage?
No, you know the city pretty well, and you're probably used to doing this.
Okay.
After about 10 minutes, you get to like a sort of not so busy corner of the merchant district, where Gwen takes you down an alleyway, not like a dingy or creepy alleyway, where there are a few shops. A lot of these have like the apartments above the shop sort of situation. To where you see a little wooden sign. What would be on the sign to signify a hairdresser? Somebody help.
One side would be a pair of scissors, the other side would be a comb.
Yes, that is what is on the sign.
Oh, are they past the barber surgeon age in Blackcaster?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was a boat thing.
I mean, it was a mid-16th to 18th century thing in general.
It was.
Ow.
Well, she stops for a second and says, "Well, we're here."
Rizwan will enter.
Okay.
Can I have a closer look at where we are?
Sure. This is how much exploring did Zoe do of the city? Abigail, whatever.
It's fine. Probably a significant amount, but probably later at night.
Okay. This is definitely not where the nobility would typically hang out, although it is a place for people with some amount of money.
So this would be like the merchant class.
Yeah, this is more middle class than upper class.
So Gwen, is this where you got your hair cut?
Yeah. She kind of straightens up a little bit and addresses the guards and tells them to wait outside.
I guess they go in.
Okay, you guys go in. Everybody else, what are you doing?
So I have a question. How close are we from the water in the place we were talking?
The place you are currently standing,
Uh-huh.
couple 100 feet.
Okay. And we are like at the door of the embassy?
It's
When
like
you're-
two houses down from where you are, or 2 buildings down.
Okay. I'll ability follow along then.
Well, after all that, I still have to go to the embassy, so that's where I'm going.
Pert will continue to wait for his chance to gather the information he's looking for.
All right. So you go inside the embassy. It is very, very nice, very clean. Looks like there's a decent amount of money that comes through this place. There is indeed a letter waiting for you here.
Okay, I will read it to myself.
Okay. You notice as you go to open the letter, it has a very fancy, official-looking seal on the envelope.
Is it a house seal or a government seal?
It would be a government seal.
But not a harp seal?
There's probably some of those around here, but it's not sitting on Camille's envelope.
Sorry, it was too easy.
You open it and read it. Make me a quick insight check. Okay. I'm not gonna read, like, I don't have the letter written out verbatim, but the both the government and the church are very excited to hear this news, and your presence is requested back in Carcamat as soon as possible, so that they may officiate your status as exarch. And judging by the language on the letter, this isn't, like, really a request.
This is you need to come home.
Yes.
More like you're coming home and we're gonna do this.
Yes. I'm gonna do something. I'm assuming I'm just in like the ambassadorial office, right?
Yes.
The ambassador's not nearby, right?
I don't Not if you don't want them to be.
No, I kind of do want them to be.
Okay. Then they are probably occupying their office at the moment.
I'll ask the clerk if I could speak to the ambassador for a moment.
Okay. An older, like maybe 70-year-old woman walks out.
Ma'am?
How can I help you?
I hand the letter. Please read this.
She takes a letter from you and reads it. Raises an eyebrow. Raises another eyebrow. Hands the letter back to you. Well, it seems congratulations are in order.
If you could have a ship ready, standing by for when I'm ready to depart, I would appreciate it. There are several things tied to the ruling family of the city that I need to deal with here first, and then I'll be ready to depart with my companions and several others. Gestures around.
I'm sure that can be arranged.
Thank you. Additionally, the Jimmy, would Camille, since he's been on ships, good part of his adult life, would have seen like a Vrogelly ship before, right?
Would have seen a what ship?
Ship from Vrogel, probably.
Yes. You're a little bit muffled.
Sorry, how's that?
Yes.
Say more stuff?
It's the normally that's the Discord being a goof. I will suggest just try to speak very clear.
I will
loud.
very much enunciate for the next section.
Excellent.
I'm asking Camille's like that Platinum Army ship, recognizable as a ship from Vrogel, like the design.
Make me a history check. You're not entirely sure. It might be like an older design. Most ships that you have seen coming out of Vrogel have the same sort of design that most other ships in both Sheras and Karkamon and Lita all have.
For that
It's
Western,
kind of been standardized.
right. What we would do is like the European galleon kind of look.
Yes.
Okay.
But, they, either the Platinum Army might want to have a different style to sort of signify, them or, tradition, or you're not really sure.
Now, you could always ask Pert, who would give you a 15-hour speech
That's why he's not asking you.
on why they have the mast 3 feet further forward than other ships. But yes, you don't want the 15-hour speech, so I understand not asking Pert.
So he'll just say, how long has that foreign ship been in harbor? Any news on it?
She kind of looks out the window and says, Well, I didn't see it there yesterday.
Okay.
It may have gotten in earlier this morning or last night.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Ambassador. I'll be back to see you soon.
Excellent. She does tell you that the ship won't be ready for at least 48 hours because it takes time to mobilize a ship.
Yeah, I'm sure it's thinking mobilizing a ship, a guard, all that stuff. This is probably going to be a formal thing.
Yeah. Well, I think
semi-formal.
Yeah, it's more going to be done for speed than formality.
I think Pert is asking his questions of someone here, probably someone who looks like they're waiting for something anyways, so that way he's not bothering staff or something.
I mean, there isn't anybody else waiting for something other than you guys, but there are staff.
Are we bothering the secretary?
I think Pert would probably find one of the other staff members who looks like they're just on their way to go do something ask the question real quick and then act like, "Oh, thank you," and get the hell out of the person's way.
Sure. What are you asking? The where the thing is?
Let's start with the basic one of the fencing club
Okay.
or some equivalent.
Would this person wears these fancy things?
It's a question. Is this someone from Karkaman who works in the embassy, or someone hired by the embassy who lives in Blackcaster?
They like kind of look at you and they're like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I was just asking for general knowledge.
What are you asking for?
Are you asking in character or out of character?
Let's say in character.
And Pert will just gently pat Fire's arm. Oh, I was just looking for a chance to try some fencing.
Huh. Ooh, I bet you could ask Zoe's guard to find I don't know, a match or something.
Yes, that'll probably be my next attempt. Thank you, Fire.
Mm-hmm.
If that's everything for you guys, then I'm going to suggest. Kamil suggested Pert to take us to the hairdresser. Weird statement.
I have sad puppy eyes in my face.
What's up, Fire?
Fire, we'll go see the docs, okay?
Okay.
I mean, might as well give them at least a little bit of time. I hear things like a trip to a hairdresser can be a bit of an event sometimes.
Yeah, this is gonna take like 2 or 3 hours.
Actually, yeah, we'll use it as an excuse to get close to the foreign ship.
Okay.
Not like right up to it, but like nearby. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think what Pert will do, since Kamel seems to be expressing interest in this idea, is Pert will walk Fire and Kamel to the water, and then leave Kamel in charge of Fire, and he'll go make inquiries around the boat instead. When they arrived, what their course is, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Trying to act as if he's obviously a merchant hoping to make a sale, but trying to keep it very general so that way no one gets suspicious of him.
Okay. And what's Amma doing?
Admiring the ocean, I'm guessing?
Yeah, probably.
It smells a little bit weird.
Yeah, I bet.
I think Fire grabs Amma by the arm and come look, let's come and watch, and just flops belly on the floor, looking at the belly on the floor and facing the water.
All right. There's like a little where you are right now beside the embassy. There's like a little walkway along a waterfront walkway, and there are a few people walking along it, just enjoying the sun and the fresh air. And you just like lay down in the middle of the path.
Yeah.
With Fire.
Melis lays down beside you.
Moves a lot. It's very noisy.
Just wait until you're on a ship and it's going up and down and up and down and up and down.
That sounds like fun.
Sure. If you're not, if you're used to it.
Do I see any sea lions or something like that?
Make a perception check. Emma can also make a perception check for Melis. With advantage.
Wait, is Alma making the perception check or is Melis making the perception check?
Melis.
Does Melis want to touch the fishy?
Let's most find a fishing boat.
This is the first perception for Melas.
Okay. So fire notices first, maybe like 60 feet away from where you're hanging your head over the side. There's just a little extra splash. And then a few seconds later, you see just a little black nose poking up out of the water.
Oh my god, that's cute.
It turns to look in your direction. It looks like a seal. Not that Fire would know what a seal is.
Nope.
It just
I
kind of
gotta just-
floats there staring. You think it might be staring at Melis.
I'm gonna transform into that.
You're gonna transform into a seal?
Yeah.
No.
And awkwardly flops to
Sea doggo.
the water.
So you transform on land. There's just now a seal beside Melis. And then you just kind of like flop yourself forward to get into the water.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Fire, you don't know where to get out.
I think Fire answered. Arr.
Camille, there's definitely a few people now staring and pointing and whispering.
I think he's just pinching the bridge of his nose and just shaking his head.
The seal swims up to you, Fire.
I speak to them the song of my people.
I don't know what it says back.
Doesn't matter. Just hang out and swim and learn what the hell is this new place.
At one point, you hear a very jealous yowl from Melis. So, Fire's having fun with the seal. And Emma's babysitting. And so is Camille. Pert, please make me a persuasion check.
Not a problem. Persuasion.
Persuasion?
Okay, please remind me what you were looking for.
So basically, all the general information he can fence out of people about the arrival time, general knowledge of the boat, and whether they've said, oh no, we're in dock for like 5 minutes to refresh, or if we're here for an emission or whatever, you know. The general feel of what he can get from people about the boat.
Okay. So you learned that they showed up last night. And it doesn't seem like they are going to be in port for long. Maybe like a couple of days, just enough to resupply. It is a long trip if they are indeed heading back to Carcamont.
Wait.
Vrogel. Derp. There are a number of people that came off the ship. Not sailors, but more like military folks or soldiers that seem to be like hanging around local bars and local establishments. That they are probably on break.
All right, so it seems like it's just a general stopping into dock and resupply, not we're here to do something here.
It does not seem to... It seems much more like that they are just stopping.
Relatively innocent. Sounds good.
Yeah. Make a perception check while you're looking around.
No problem. 1 perception.
You do notice at one point, there are, like, when you get a little bit closer, there are some people who are loading crates onto that ship. Most of them look like they are dock workers or sailors, but there is one person there who is wearing a very shiny, like, platinum-looking breastplate, who is helping move crates.
Oh gosh. Does Pert like finding things out enough to risk that?
That's up to you, man.
No.
Just
His
For the casual observer, how old would you say this person is?
With a 29, this person seems to be elvish. Youngish, but it can be kind of hard to tell, with elves. Very blonde, very pretty. Elvis, Elvis-ish.
Sorry, I heard Elvis and I thought somewhat similar to Elvis.
I mean, young Elvis was very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I-
thank you. Well, thank you very much.
I think Pert will risk it and just move in closer to the elvish person and I'm just trying to decide if there's a way I can phrase things or if Pert should just bungle his way in. Bungling is kind of Pert's way of doing things. He's really not a sneaky thief. I mean, phrasing. No, I think Pert will just bungle his way in, sliding over by the person and basically taking a spot in the random assortment of hands passing boxes along, and making sure that he gets to pass a box to the elvish person before going, "Oh, hello there. Haven't met many elves in this area. How do you do?"
Make
Make a how do you
either-
do roll.
Yeah, make either a deception or a stealth roll.
Well, it's either a 2 or a 13, so 13 it is.
That's pretty good. This individual does not seem to notice that you are not part of the regular dock crew. And says, "Oh, hello! Very nice to meet you," and holds out a hand to shake yours.
And Pert happily shakes his back. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Pert Velis."
Pert Velis, very, very nice to meet you. I am Phelan, soldier of the Platinum Army. I'm so sorry, what was your question?
Well, I mean, we don't see such a noble ship in these kind of docks so often. What's the purpose, my dear friend? Are you here for sightseeing, a day off?
Oh, we're just here to resupply a little bit before continuing on our journey.
Noble journey. The platinum sales treat you well, I assume?
Well, yes, so far I've only been signed up for a few months.
Life of adventure ahead of you, then. Wonderful to hear.
One can only hope.
And Pert tries to do the casual, friendly, slap him on the back thing, and goes back to helping out for probably another 5 or 10 minutes. And if he doesn't hear anything else interesting, he will fade out of existence somehow.
Okay. With a 21, you are definitely able to fade out. There isn't much in the way of talking. They're mostly just working. But
Yeah.
you do notice, like, in your 5-10 minutes of work, that he seems to be the only person in, like, a Platinum Army garb that is
Helping,
doing
yes.
this work. Yeah.
And what was the name again?
Phelan.
Phelan. And you'd say half-elf?
No, elf. Full elf.
Full elfish.
Elf member of the Platinum Guard. Okay. Yeah, and Pert will report back and share with Kamale the thin amount of information he got, including the name of his one contact that seems to just be a good-natured person who doesn't seem to be very new to the group and might at least be a good source of information.
He stops Pert after the first sentence. All right. And I just bellow at Fire. Out of the pool.
I do the showing you my belly and flapping it with my how to call it?
Flippers?
Yeah.
Out of the pool, you find your own way home.
Sad old and coming back.
So, Fire, how do you get out of the water?
He got himself into this mess. He's on his own.
Can I
Can't you
make a suggestion?
Okay.
You do that, you dive down, and then you just swim up real fast and jump out.
Not a dolphin.
Is there a stair somewhere?
Make a
Normally there are
perception
stairs.
check. Is the Platinum Army not the Platinum Guard, David? You do not see any stairs here, although there might be some. Presumably, there would be some way near the docks to, like, get up onto the docks if somebody fell in.
I look around for a stair. There should be stairs around.
Okay. It takes you a few minutes, but you do find not like a set of stairs, but like a rope ladder.
Okay. I did transform and climb up.
Okay. You are very wet now.
I shake like a dog.
Melis
was-
comes trotting up to you. Sniff, sniff. Sniff, sniff.
That was fun. I smell funny now.
Uncanny dodge to avoid the water.
Sure.
Step behind Kamale.
I'm impervious to fire.
That fancy armor gleaming.
I imagine like a drop
Yeah.
comes into the camel's cheek and the eye twitch a little bit.
He just picks a piece of seaweed off his pauldron and just flicks it back onto fire.
Uh-huh.
Okay, time to go, I don't know, head dressing?
Yeah.
And
I
Pert,
gotta- I'll get Pert to ask for directions again, or find the way, since he's better at navigating twisty, weird city corridors.
Okay. Pert, make. What would this be to follow directions?
I'm
Survival?
gonna stick with survival, but if you have alternative requests, I can adapt.
Survival is fine.
Sure thing.
Not a problem. You.
Fire can see their footprints.
Yep. it is like you've lived here all your life. You lead the rest of the group to the hairdresser. Melis is following Fire very, very closely.
Fire, is there a fish in your pocket?
No, but I think I smell like fish.
Definitely smell fishy.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a harbor. You smell like something else.
Back to the other crew.
Hello.
Hello. So you, Rizwin and Abigail, you follow Gwen into the hairdresser. There is currently nobody in there, except for two women who seem to work there. Both like late 20s, early 30s, probably. One
Wait.
has.
Hold on a minute. The secret place for Gwen is actually a hairdressing place?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the women has kind of short hair in a similar style to Gwen, and the other one has dreadlocks. Which raises Abigail's eyebrow a little bit. That's a pretty unusual thing to see.
I feel like Zoe's upbringing is forcing her to lower her hood now that she's indoors. And see why you come here, because Mom would definitely never let the hairdresser cut your hair that short.
Oh, is this? Sorry, you must be Abigail.
Zoe, hi, this is going to get confusing, so I'm just going to keep using Zoe. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
Abigail blinks a few times and goes, "You've been talking about me, Gwen?"
She looks a little bit sheepish. A little bit.
Thank you for...
The woman with dreadlocks kind of chimes in. Only good things, we promise.
Well, I mean, I'm glad to hear that. Also, you made my sister's hair look lovely.
Thank you. So, what can we do for you today?
I have made the decision that I no longer wish to have this color. Do you have anything that really takes hold?
Yes, of course.
Can't
They kind of
resist.
look at they kind of look at each other, and you see them do like a little like, okay, who are you taking? Who am I taking? And the woman with dreadlocks will lead Rizwin over to a chair on the left side.
In the city, either from before or just walking around now, is it more common to have blonde hair or like dark hair?
Darker hair is more common.
Okay. She will go for either really dark brown or black, as long as it can hold in her hair.
Okay.
I know previously we have mentioned how it's the same color and stays really glossy all the time. I imagine it's more difficult to work with because of this.
Probably.
So,
Can you make it purple?
purple stands out too much. And she gives her like a significant look, like, I'm doing this to blend in, not stand out more.
The other woman takes you aside, Zoe, and asks if there is anything you would like done.
Honestly, can you just have a look and clean up my split ends? It is hell to try and keep this thing straight on the road.
Oh, of course. Gwen, dear, would you like anything done too? And Gwen shrugs and says, "Sure, I can get a little bit of a touch up." Rizwin.
Hello.
Tali, who is the hairdresser that you are working with, walks you through a few options. You can get your hair dyed a dark brown, for just like a couple of gold. It will like be a permanent dye. You can get like a washout dye for a little bit cheaper. And when she explains, like, even though it's a washout dye, it will stain your hair a little bit for good. But that's only if you wanted it in for like, a week. Or, and she makes it very clear that she's only offering this to you because you're a friend of Gwen's. They do have enchanted hair dye that will dye your hair very dark, and then you have like a secondary conditioner that will make it completely wash out when you're ready to take it out.
Rizwin is very interested in that. This is
It
the best
is-
of both worlds.
It is 50 gold. It is very expensive for a hair dye.
I mean, she can deal with that.
Yeah.
She will hand over 75 for everybody.
Tally is very happy. And she tells you it will take probably a couple of hours to do.
And very subtly, even so she maybe doesn't even pick up on it, but Rizwan is trying to hint at, this is also, we weren't here.
She picks up on it very easily. You were never here. You get the sense that she does this sometimes.
Okay.
I would like both Rizwin and Zoe to make me a insight check. Okay.
Is assuming this has something to do with Gwen, that should probably be even at disadvantage, but I feel
It
like
doesn't.
an 8 is low enough.
Gwen just sort of sits patiently as Zoe gets, or as Abby gets her hair done, and it's a good job. And Renna, who is the hairdresser that is working with Abigail, and Tali, they each talk to you and they talk to each other. Zoe, you get the impression that they are a couple. You also get the impression that they know Gwen, like, decently well.
Gwen, how often do you come here? How long have you been coming here?
Well, a couple of times. And, well, there's a group of us that hang out upstairs sometimes. You know, kind of like a club, I guess.
Hi, I'm thinking. Give me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Gwen. I don't know why. I thought you always were shut in like me.
Well, I mean, it's pretty new. It's only been the last few months, but they're nice.
Well, you got to meet my friends. Can I meet yours?
Sure. And Rena kind of interjects and says, you can always swing by tonight. There'll be a few people around.
I'll show you the good way to sneak out of the house.
Okay.
Though if you're coming out this often, you might already know it.
I've learned a thing or two.
No running away.
You did it!
I get it for good reasons. Do as I say, not as I do.
Nibbles, you said you had a task for one of the guards?
Yes, during the first sit around and wait for things to dry period, she will pen a quick letter and ask one of them if there's like some wax that she can seal it with. I don't know that she actually. She might just mark it with an X or something. I don't think she puts any kind of signet into the wax.
Okay.
And then she tells the guards to put this directly into the hands of the something. Primor.
Okay.
And sends him off. There may be a reply, there may not.
Okay.
And I will send you the text of the letter.
If there's any chance to. So he's going to ask, what the heck did you send to my father?
Well, I feel like she wasn't doing a very good job of hiding what she was doing. Hopefully it's nothing.
Deadpan stare.
Back up. Rizwin just sent a letter to Zoe's father?
Yes.
The fuck?
Yep. Innocent grin. Also not very convincing.
Zoe does the points at her eyes, points at her at Rizwin's eyes. I will find out. You might as well just tell me now.
Not now.
Oh, you don't have to worry, dear. We're very, very discreet.
I can appreciate that. However, you will perhaps understand when I say, without exaggeration, that lives may depend on discretion.
Have it your way.
Lettuce, pickles, tomato. That was not in character.
Print report?
What? Anyway.
After, like, maybe an hour, The rest of your group shows up.
Time to stand around and wait.
There is enough seating for all of you.
Is there seating wide enough for all of us?
Pert will go talk with the guard outside.
Okay.
I'm assuming someone tries to do something with his hair, and he's just like, no, no.
Well, the two ladies that work here are both currently busy. The other one has moved on to Gwen from Abigail. But you all see Rizwin with some dark stuff in her hair.
Whoa! Look at myself if I'm black now.
Nope.
Huh.
I gather these are friends of yours?
So, how do they feel about all these people being around? Or
Hello.
Hello. Gwen, I didn't know you had such interesting friends. Why have we never met these people?
We're from out of town.
And how long are you staying?
Well, the ship should be ready in about 2 days.
Zoe looks confused.
I have been asked to return home for obvious and important reasons.
Okay. Pause was in character.
Zoe knows what Kamail is and who he represents and why he was going to the embassy. I'm sure she can put one and one together and get 3. Also, it's not something he would just say in front of 2 hairdressers.
Yeah. Sorry, Quasta?
I learned what a seal is.
Oh, have you never been to the ocean before?
Nope. It was funny. I smell now.
Yes, you do.
Fire, you might want to go stand outside for a bit and air off.
So it's moved from Abby to Gwen, right?
Yes.
Zoe knows that Fire will never get into the house smelling like this. Attack of the Prestidigitation. And possibly also a water bucket.
Rip.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Is there anything else you would like to do while Rizwin finishes getting her hair dyed?
I think Pert will go over his 5 questions with the guard outside.
Okay. Please ask them to me again.
Alrighty. So we'll start with the casual conversation on either fencing or some kind of martial arts club. Sorry, fencing or a dueling club, I should say.
Make a persuasion check. There are a number of dueling clubs within the city. Some of them are like very highbrow, focus on the nobility. Some are much more Seedier Ventures.
Which has the best reputation for open events? You know, who's got the... This is the one that wins every time when the two schools duel each other.
You're looking to like actually participate in like a dueling?
Pert wants to try out what he's been learning.
Okay. If you are looking for something relatively quickly, he kind of looks around for a second before suggesting a place, and you get the sense that it's maybe not the most up and up of places, but they have events almost every night.
And that leads into the second question anyways. So Pert would ask, somewhat underground or perhaps seedy? Perhaps related to the... And he does a hand gesture. Thieves Guild? And he doesn't say Thieves Guild, but, you know, he implies.
The guard does not seem to understand what the hand gesture means, but he does say that it is not the place you go,
If you're trying to keep good face.
yeah.
This reminds me that Pert should be checking out the rest of the family's guards, but it looks like at least the initial assessment is positive. And I think he'll leave the rest of the questions from for now, but thank the guard and probably get a feel for what they're paid before tipping the guard on scale to what their wage seems to be. So if they're paid, you know, like a platinum a week, he'll tip him a platinum.
I really need to memorize this pay scale.
I think normal guard probably is copper a week.
Well, they're definitely better than that.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, though. Basically, we are rich people. We are very rich people.
Uh-huh. You sure are.
I mean, Pert's probably given out like 100 platinum in tips in the last month.
No, you
Crashing
haven't.
the economy. Like a few silver a week, probably.
Pert will tip him a full gold then since he has no silver on him.
Okay.
A mercenary man-at-arms would make about a gold a day.
Okay, so that's...
Reasonable then.
Yeah. He graciously thanks you, and goes back to not looking at what's going on inside.
And Pert will stand at attention as well.
Thank you, Cathanid.
I figure a bodyguard or an armor or a man-at-arms is equivalent to what those guys would be.
Mm-hmm.
Just a meat shield in armor.
All right. Anything else you guys want to do while you're here?
Not while we're here.
Okay. Then about another hour passes by. Rizwin, you get your hair rinsed and dried. Tally asks if you'd like it back in the braids.
Oh, yes.
Want any, like, your split ends trimmed or anything like that?
She would have noticed while doing this that there were none.
Huh. Then she would have commented that you keep very good care of your hair.
Oh, thank you. Trying desperately not to draw attention to the fact that it does it by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe glares and is just jealous.
She puts the braids back in and pulls out a little hand mirror so that you can see You can see your new hair, and it is a dark, dark brown.
Rizwin all at the same time hates it and is relieved.
Yeah. And then hands you a bottle of a, like, kind of a milky, not like a white fluid. It looks like hair conditioner.
We'll stash that away for later use.
Yes, don't lose it.
If the worst comes to worst, do you have more?
We can get more. It usually takes a few days from ordering, though.
Assuming it came in conversation that it was enchanted.
You were not there for that conversation.
I was wondering if it came up in conversation while I was there.
I think Zoe now has her own ponders. Where does it come from?
Make a persuasion check. Tally seems a little bit reticent to tell you, but you are Gwen's friend.
Zoe moves up nice and close so it can be whispered and kept just between them.
We have a contact who works with a wizard in the city.
So Zoe pulls out 10 platinum pieces and hands it to her. I have no urge to take this business from you, but I would like to know who they are.
Are you asking about who their contact is or who the wizard is?
Would like to get in contact with the wizard.
Okay.
And she handed her 2 times what the hair dye was worth.
She takes a look at it for a few seconds and then pushes it back to you and says, "If you come tonight, I'll introduce you."
Rizwin has a fit internally.
I was gonna come anyways, but I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. So she didn't take the money?
She did not take the money.
Hi, I'm trying to find a wizard to cast a spell.
Is that spell create bag of holding?
Something along that lines, yes. And if Zoe finds it, Kamel's not going to be happy.
Why not?
Because it's going to take a while to actually do it. In other
Two-
words, not 2 days.
Well, we're going in 2 days. He's not going to have you hold up an entire country for a trinket.
Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Is there at any point a reply to the letter?
Yes, just as you are prepping to leave, The guard comes back with a letter for you, Riswin.
I will read it in attempted privacy.
Okay. Y'all can make perception checks if you want to try and get a peek at the letter.
Pert's outside, so he's probably not trying, although if he rolled a natural 20, it would still be hilarious.
I'm absorbed in my own letter still that I'm rereading.
Should I oppose this with like stealth or sleight of hand or something?
Sure. I mean, even a natural 20 or 21 is like it's hard to read the entirety of a letter that somebody else is holding away from you, but so he probably gets a little bit of a glimpse at it.
Mm-hmm.
I fully peek over their shoulder. I don't know how to read.
I'm not 100% sure it's not just Zoe going, "Give me the letter. I want to read it too."
Riswin reads it first and then decides.
Okay. Give me a second to write a reply.
5-minute break.
Sure. Let's take a 5-minute break here.
That way Jamie's not rushing.
And
Also,
I
Ty,
gotta
get
get
some-
some tea.
Gotta get water.
Ty, if that came across as too harsh, I didn't mean it to.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
There's things going on in the background here that Zoe's probably going to want to deal with. Nibbles, are you still here?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm back. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Butts.
So I'm having this problem where, you know, when your headphone is a stereo and something you hear should be in the center is not in the center.
Mm.
You hear a little to the right. And I check on the settings on the headset and it is centered. So I don't know if the headset is having a problem or my ears are having a problem.
Play the same audio through a different set of speakers or headset.
I don't have any other headset.
Do you have literal speakers you could try?
Nope.
No, his mic only has a USB set.
Could perfectly be my ears. I'm used to they getting plugged.
Did you check the Windows balance? Because you said you checked the headset balance.
Yes, it actually I checked it once and it was twisted on one side. I don't know why, and it got fixed. And 2 days later, I feel it again and I check it and looks the same, like correct.
It could be your ears,
Could
which
be.
would suck. But also, you might want to just try unplugging the headset and plugging it back in.
I also tried that. If it gets worse, I will understand it's my ears and just need to go to the doctor.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
I'm back.
Hi, back.
I am still waiting for my kettle to boil.
Yeah, that's okay.
The
Need to
advantage
ride
of
the
iced tea.
doctor.
So we do need to buy you that instant kettle.
Are we buying Jamie a hot water boiler?
I don't think you want a hot water boiler for tea. Because the water sits in those things forever.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome
Oh.
back.
Is everybody
back.
ready to continue?
I assume Mist is omnipresent as always.
You have a nipple?
It was his iced tea.
You saw the thing that I wrote back to you?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
She would try to just put it in her pocket.
Zoe, at the very least, you can get a glimpse of your father's handwriting.
She already knows who it's from. You really want to do the persuasion check, Nibbles? Minder's always got a +9 to it.
Yeah. She feels pretty strongly about this.
I mean, you can't force another PC to do anything.
You can RP it and try to convince Nibbles, but
Let me.
If she like pushes the issue, Rizwan will just say, "I'm just being overly cautious." And then something like occurs to her. Do you have a way to talk to a Shala, Estrella, whichever name she goes by?
I mean, the same way I talked to Vanya.
She
Wow.
would have said whichever name wouldn't show up in a book.
it was Estrella that she was introduced as.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We should maybe warn her as well. Yes.
We can just talk about that outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, the more secretive you are, the more people tend to pay attention.
Yes, and that's why I don't want to talk about it in front of them. I'm sorry, ladies.
That's quite all right.
We'll execute an exit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
thank them very much for their help and have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So, just out of curiosity, what was the haircut cost?
Yours was like 5 silver.
And Zoe would try to play for Gwen's. Was she able to?
Yeah, Gwen's was about the same.
Rizwin already paid for all 3.
You said you paid for yours.
No,
I
they said all
gave her
three.
75 gold.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. Sorry.
You paid for the next year's worth of haircuts.
Yeah.
Zoe curtsies and leaves.
All
And
right.
thanks them for taking care of her sister. And Hood back up.
Mm-hmm.
And once we're kind of out of earshot, I'll just kind of group people up. The ship got in last night. They're resupplying and leaving in a day or two. Going back east.
Nothing to worry about.
And yes, I do need to get back to Carcamont. And when it was a request, it was the same way your government requests you to come home. And if they want, I'll hand them the letter. And they can read it themselves. Assuming it's in common. I don't know if it would be or not.
It would probably be in Celestial.
And I'll give
Something
it.
like this officious.
Consider that's probably the first language of most people of Carcamont.
There.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's going to be a language barrier for a bunch of the crew if we go to Carcamont.
I think at this point it's kind of obvious Pert's been listening every time the two of you talk Celestial. I don't think he's got it figured out yet, though.
Yeah.
I think it'd
They're
be the
not
same.
even.
What was that?
Celestial would be kind of like Swedish, where everybody knows common pretty well, but it isn't necessarily their first language.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like going to Scandinavian countries or like the Netherlands, where everyone speaks their own language, but they all speak English as well.
Yeah.
What did you say, Ty?
Not even speaking the same dialect of Celestial.
Yes, they are. You're just.
Odd
I'm
accents?
just now picturing the celestial chef. As a
I don't get it.
The Swedish
Swedish
chef?
chef.
Swedish chef.
Oh.
So it gives us another avenue of departing. But I think we should maybe just keep our heads collectively low until that ship leaves.
Going to a turtle and hide my head.
If nothing else, you can have your meeting with their supplier and trust your sister to hold on to the item until we have a chance to return. Whatever it is you're looking for.
Doesn't really work when I'm trying to find somebody to cast a spell a bunch of times.
I mean, it does. You just hire the person and they leave the item with your sister until we get back.
I need to do the other half of the work
Oh,
at the same
okay.
time.
Well, I recognize that it's something you desire. It's a want versus a need. I have to go home.
And on that note, was there anywhere else we were planning on going, or just back to my place? My parents' place. Mother and father's house. That last one.
I don't have anything I need.
I have some business to take care of later tonight, but that's nothing that needs to bother the rest of you.
Eyebrow raises.
He's Pert. He's probably going to go look at art, find new information.
Well, let's head back to the mansion.
All right, you head back to the mansion. It's like early afternoon at this point.
And I think Pert will approach Camille while they're walking back when the two of them are as far away from the guards that are with them as possible. And just to ask if Camille would be interested in helping him check over to make sure the guards are clean.
I assume that they are being paid a very good wage to not ask questions.
Yeah, but... And Pert kind of gestures towards Gwen. It'd be nice to have reassurance of that. Shrug.
Huh?
Everyone has a past. Everyone has a family. Everyone has a family that did something wrong 20 years ago. It's just nice to be able to check and make sure there is no potential problems in the future for
Hey,
Gwen and her family.
they're the lords of the city. They have enemies everywhere. I'm sure someone will try to kill them at some point in their lives. You can't... Huh?
Yes, and it'd be nice to know that there isn't someone planning that in the house today.
If there is... I have... Yeah, he just kind of wanders off. He's got bigger things on his mind.
Alright, Bert will leave Camille alone.
How's Camille feeling about the impending trip back home?
Nervous. You know, imposter syndrome?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
only magnified by the fact that, yeah, everything that he is. You ever have the whole hopes and dreams of an entire nation resting on your shoulders?
Yes. Oh wait.
Yeah, he's probably a little distracted.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do the rest of you do for the day?
Does it seem like an additional reply is needed for this letter, or we're just
No.
good to go? Okay.
At some point in the day, Zoe, Gwen will come up to you and say that it should probably just be you and her that go. You might be able to convince her to have one more person come with you.
I think Zoe kind of wants to have some alone time with her sister.
Okay.
I think with no backup, Pert is just going to casually make acquaintances with each of the guards and just, not interrogate them, but make sure they're all clean.
Okay.
he obviously can't check all of the guards by himself, but he'll check those that are at least around today. And he'll keep it very friendly and, not pressing too hard, but trying to see if there's any hints of a biting of a lip or a sharp intake at the gentle push to try to find out that little extra information.
Okay. You're gonna have to make me a bunch of rolls here.
Sure.
I would like a insight check. I would like a deception check. And I would like a history check. Okay.
Okay.
Pert may or may not have some kind of personal interaction problem. I've noticed this with him and Insight.
Shock.
Womp womp. Sometimes the dice tell a story.
No, I think the dice have told the story the entire time, because Pert's been horrible with... I'm not saying Pert's artistic, but he's like, that kind of borderline not good with people thing.
On the spectrum?
Possibly, yes.
So you think all the guards are on the up and up? You do, like, you're pretty sure that you were able to talk to them without, like, being too pointed about it. Nah, no, the natural one. You do, with that history check, you do know to sort of, like, what major groups you might have to worry about in the city, which would be
The other families?
the other families, the local thieves guild, and the Church of Fortune.
And everyone gets a general clean pass from what he can ascertain from the current group of people?
Yes.
All right.
As far as the Church of Fortune goes, like, everybody, especially people with money in the city, everybody pays, like, some deference to it. You kind of have to.
Are they the equivalent of, it'd be a shame if your business burned down?
Yes.
And while he's doing this, Pert's also going to find out which guards are on duty tonight, and just accidentally tip them a gold after he does his little talks with each of them, as if to say, hey, if I just leave tonight for 2 hours and come back a couple hours later with my face a little bit blackened, no reason to worry. Obviously, he's saying this in much more sly terminology.
Yeah. I don't think the guards take it. They say you are the guest of the house and you are our responsibility, and sometimes that means keeping our mouths shut.
And Pert will thank them and move along.
Mm-hmm.
We are apparently the world's worst drivers.
No, they just are honest men who are doing their duty.
And
Or-
so we tried to do it and got our money given back.
Or don't want to be seen taking bribes.
Duty.
Oh, can I do something?
Absolutely.
I will want to sometime in the afternoon come to when?
Okay.
Knock.
Yeah, Gwen opens her door. You see that she had just, like, started to settle in and do some, like, needlepoint work.
That looks boring.
It's it's kind of boring.
Something fun?
What did you have in mind?
I thought of doing this when we had a good moment, but given that things we are going away soon, I don't want to miss the opportunity of making my friend's sister a good time. I guess you guys have some sort of garden or patio.
Yes, there is a garden.
Let's go there.
Okay. Um, give me a second, and she closes the door and starts changing.
Okay.
And she comes out like 10 minutes later in a different dress.
No, you don't. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
We go there.
okay. She leads you up to the garden. Quasti, you're cutting in and out a little bit.
I should. It makes sense if I speak louder and clearer.
Where
It
are we
helps.
located right now, Jamie?
What do you mean, where are we located? Oh, the server?
Hmm.
US East, I think.
Do we want to try US South just to try to reduce the travel distance?
You can give it a shot.
That's not where the lines would come in.
I am talking right now to see if it's any better.
Should I try it?
Doesn't hurt to try.
Okay, we'll give it a try.
I hear you all fine.
Try again now.
I'm talking again to see how it sounds.
I
How do
think
I
it's a little clearer.
But yeah, now you're muddled, David.
Yeah.
I'm a little mumbled.
Very troubled.
As is Cathanid.
Can we try turning off the bard for pausing the bard for now?
Okay, let me try.
Try restarting Discord real quick.
How about now?
Now.
That's better.
Catholic
Hello?
sounds very fine.
That's better. Okay, so I think maybe the server just can't handle two bards.
Yeah.
Damn it.
To be fair, you don't always like. I know you have the background thing, but if you wanted to just focus on background noise, you could do that too on there. I guess just pause the music for when you want more sort of ambient background noise.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Server boosting also might help.
I have enough subscriptions as it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we good then?
Yep.
Okay.
So we come to the patio
Yes.
or garden or I don't know.
Yep. It is late summer, so everything is either in full bloom or already starting to die.
Hmm. Uh Basically, I asked to her what's her favorite animal.
God, what would Gwen's favorite animal be? I don't know why this is stuck in my head.
You know
Muskrat.
what? Sorry. Before that, I think Fire will stop midway there and say, wait, Soy should be here and go fetch Soy.
Oh, okay. You go and find Zoe.
Come.
Zoe looks confused, walking out of her room with her lute in her hand, and follows. Where are we going?
To your garden. Patio. I don't know.
Oh, it is probably an immaculate garden.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a hedge maze in it. That's awkward shady.
Shutters and hedge maze.
Gwen is just sitting on a bench admiring the garden when you get back.
So did you decide?
I like badgers.
Badgers. Weird.
Hey, badgers are cool.
I mean, they are cool.
Yeah.
I say I go to her and poop her in the nose and say, "Don't panic. I can stop it whenever I want." And I polymorph her into a badger.
Just turn my sister into a badger.
Yes.
Sure did. Polymorph changes the mental stats, right?
Yes. I will not do this out of like I will do this calmly. It's not a think fast. It's not like that.
So, did you reach out and like start to poke my sister?
Well, you know, it's not a touch spell, so not necessarily.
No, it's
Okay.
not necessary.
I was trying to figure if Zoe was going to slide in the way and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I'm just more out of character concerned about you just doing it without permission.
Mm.
Gwen is now a badger. I'm standing on the patio. And there's just
Dispel magic.
okay. Technically you have to roll unless you do. Oh no, you have 5th level spells only.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. It dispels, and just as quickly as she became a badger, she shoots back up to person stature.
Fire.
What?
I'm sorry, Gwen. You ask somebody's permission before you turn them into a badger.
Thought it was gonna be fun.
It probably might be fun, but not if you just randomly do it without asking. Or you're her sister.
What? What just happened?
Gwen, you know how I have magic?
Uh-huh.
Fire also has magic.
I tried to do something fun for you, but I think it's rude, and I don't understand very well why.
Yeah, can we not do that again?
No problem. Sorry.
Abigail gives Fire a hug. I understand that you thought it would be fun. It's not something everyone is comfortable with. You know how Rizwan asks before you do it? So it should go both ways.
Well, today I learned.
And then Zoe looks at Abigail looks at Gwen.
Mhm.
He wasn't trying to hurt you. He just a little overzealous sometimes.
I am sorry.
It's okay. Like that sounds kind of cool. I just need to prepare myself next time. Yeah. So
Is this you or Gwen?
this is Gwen. Gwen seems very unsure of what to do now.
Mm.
Hmm.
I
Sorry.
transform into a badger.
Oh. That is kind of pretty cool.
Just waddle away.
Hey, Gwen,
Yeah.
would you like to see something I can now do?
Yeah. Of course.
So, as I said, she had her lute, so she sits down on a bench and just starts playing a song.
Make a performance check.
Come on, dice. Don't fail me like you always do. Fail.
It's a bit shaky. But Gwen looks impressed nonetheless. You I never thought that you would take up the lute.
I drank somebody's memories of it.
What?
Yeah. Kind of found this. We found this set of potions, and I was trying to figure out a riddle, and I apparently utterly got it wrong and got somebody's memory of it. Maybe I got it right. But, anyways,
But why would somebody's memories be in a jar?
you know, that is a great question that I have no answer for.
You have such a strange life now.
That's a little bit, yeah. You remember that one, that one like tower at the edge of the property where we could never actually get up to that when we were kids?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to go see it?
Yeah.
May I cast some magic on you?
Yes, you may.
And with that, Zoe casts Fly. And because it's at a higher level, it casts on both of them. She reaches out her hand and says, just imagine you're floating. And then we'll try and fly them both up to like a little, not a patio, what's it called when it's balcony?
Veranda?
Veranda, balcony, something like that. An
Okay.
area where they can land.
She takes your hand and closes her eyes and starts to float up and then like opens her eyes and sees that she's above ground and gives out a little shriek and does not like immediately go plummeting. But definitely grabs onto you a little harder.
Safe, I swear. I've done this ones of times.
That's not okay. I trust you. You see Fire the Badger wandering around the hedge maze.
I get lost pretty quickly.
Can you stop that, or does it just time out?
What?
your shape changing.
Yeah, I can stop it whenever I want.
I mean, you're not really lost, Fire, because you can dig as a badger. You just dig a hole straight through it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to destroy the thing.
That's fair. So you fly Gwen up to veranda. Can you just fly anywhere?
I mean, yes and no. Like right now, I'm out of spells for now.
Oh,
It has a little recharge time for myself. My magic's a little different than the others. I can't do as much of it, but it comes back faster.
she sits down on the veranda with her legs kind of hanging over the edge, looking out onto the hedge maze. So you guys are going again soon, huh?
It seems to be. So I'm worried about things here. Dad seems off.
Yeah, I haven't seen him at all today. Um. Well, you'll be around for a couple more days.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, you get to spend some time with Father as well. She seems a little bit nervous.
So he puts her arm around her sister, and I was like, I promise I won't let you fall.
I know.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just sad that you're going to be going.
I am too, a little bit. But it seems like you're growing into a lovely woman. I think the families will be great. That
Yeah. Yeah. How long does this last?
Ty needs to relook this fly spell.
I
10
believe it's an
minutes.
hour.
It's short term. It's not an hour.
10 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's
10.
an
I thought
hour.
it's 10 minutes, but I couldn't remember if it was you have 10 minutes over an hour, or if it's just last 10 minutes. Duration up to
Concentration
10 minutes.
up to 10 minutes. So it's you concentrate for 10 minutes, and while you're concentrating, you have flight.
So after Zoe's probably going to keep a decent time on it. After like 8 minutes, she's going to be like, "We should get down unless you want to stay up here for another hour."
No, let's go. This is nice, but it's not that nice.
With that, she leads her back to the ground.
All right. You've lost sight of Badger Fire. So, ready for tonight?
Yep. I want to see all your friends.
-2.
I don't know. Can Zoe find the badger and be like, yo, Fire, back to normal? You know what? Fire can't get that far. Just let him have his fun.
Sure. There is definitely a couple of people in the household that know the maze like the back of their hand, so that they can go in and find people and lead them out if someone gets lost.
I mean, the worst case scenario, Fire turns into a gas cloud and just goes through it.
That's true.
On a side note, I just boosted the server so you can turn up the quality, and that might help.
I saw that. Neat.
This is not something I should be screwing with right now.
Okay.
All right. If there is there anything else people want to do in the afternoon?
No, I think Camille's mostly just in his own head.
Mm-hmm.
Both
I think
about the
Rizwan
platinum.
Also mostly inside her own head.
Both
Mhm.
worrying about the platinum army and what it means for Rizwan and everything else going on for himself.
Okay. In that case, eventually, dinner comes. Nicholas is not there. So it is up to Gabrielle to entertain you all. She does make a comment about Rizwan's hair.
Positive or negative?
She just she says that she is surprised by the change. The red hair was so lovely.
I think she would say something to the effect of, "Oh, it was time for a change," but kind of like distractedly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dinner comes and goes, and just as you are like finishing up and the dishes are being cleared, the steward walks in and goes up to Rizwan and says, discreetly, "The Primor will see you now."
Just gesture, like, lead the way.
And Rizwan walks out with the steward.
Eyebrow raise.
Thank you. That lasagna was pretty fucking good.
That's good. Did you use the
Rizwan,
plastic container or the glass?
you are led through the house.
No, the plastic container is just
up
one of those really old
a
ones that
flight of
probably shouldn't be
stairs to
microwaved.
a
So I was
bedroom.
like,
It seems to be like a
I
private
thought
office.
about, well, it's glass Pyrex. It could probably be
The door
reheated
is
in the
door is
oven.
open.
But I don't need to do that because this isn't my Tupperware, so I'm not going to try it. I'll just plop it on the
We'll enter.
baking
Okay.
sheet for the
And the
door
steward
button
closes the door
because,
behind you. He is
well,
outside.
it's easy enough to replace
Good.
that, and the thing looked cohesive enough.
And Abigail's father
And,
is sitting at a
the
desk,
parents were asking because they tried a little
writing
bit different
something on a piece of
spices.
paper.
Oh,
What'd you think?
stand by the door, waiting for him to
The
acknowledge my
spices
presence.
were not what I expected.
Takes
for
about
lasagna.
20 seconds to
Like,
finish what he's
it
writing.
had a
Puts his quill away.
zest that I wasn't expecting otherwise. Like,
This
it
one?
definitely had spice, and it wasn't
Gives a bow.
unwelcome.
Hmm.
It was
So it was a nice different flavor.
Yeah, it was a different flavor. I liked
And
the
is he like,
cohesion of the
come over here and
meat
sit down,
with
or?
the
Yeah, he says you may take a seat if you like.
fucking
Okay.
cottage
She will sit
cheese
down and
Yep.
the meat itself
visibly
was,
collect her
it wasn't
thoughts
crumbly.
Mhm.
It was thick
and begin.
like held together
You are, of course, aware of the
Pasta
Platinum
sauce in
Army's
this case.
presence.
Actual
in the
pasta sauce
city?
instead of just tomato paste.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all in all, it was pretty decent.
That's good. Yes, I plan to do up
Can I
my
also
slice.
assume that you
There
are
is
aware
also,
of their purpose?
Cheesecake and strawberry topping for the cheesecake in the other containers,
While I am
and in the strawberry topping
peripherally
container.
concerned
So if you want a slice, feel
about their
free.
presence here lining up with my daughters,
I saw 2 more Tupperware containers. Like, huh? This is probably also something.
I have no reason to believe that they are in the
Yep.
city for anything other than resupply.
I will leave it until otherwise noted.
And
Yep.
as long
If
as
you
she
don't
is
want a
careful,
slice, I'll
and
have
she
them both
does know to
eventually.
be
But if you want a
careful,
slice, feel free.
it shouldn't prove an issue.
I'll probably partake.
The Platinum Army is the least of my problems right now.
Right, Kit?
Wow.
I agree. There's a big old fat fucking yawn.
Good girl. I'm glad that little scare's over.
Yeah. Yeah, she seems fairly well adjusted.
Yep.
Hey?
So
There
probably
are
she just got into something.
other reasons that they may be on this side of the sea.
Could be just maybe it
A
was her
black
fat
dragon
fucking
was
head
seen
in the
recently
apple.
flying over the
Yeah.
city of Marielda, for example.
That's my guess.
I
Was
am.
it?
Apple is supposed to
Yes.
be okay.
I was
for
in the city
cats
at the
to
time.
eat. They recommend taking the peel off
Rumor
and giving it to
around
cats.
here says
And
that it was
quite
some sort of
obviously one the cats
very
ate
large
the
demon.
peel because it smelled tasty, I guess.
There were demons present
And
as
it is
well.
acidic, so that could be all it was just that acid was in her gut and she had to clear it out.
Well, that
Possibly.
sounds like a problem for the city of Marielda, doesn't it?
Problems other than being
Which is part
A
of
lot,
the
yes.
reason for my concern that they are here and are not there.
Well,
I do believe this particular ship was coming up from Theracelador. This is not the first time they've been in our port.
hello, BB. You gonna come say hi? Got bored of my room again? Look, it's Kit.
Well, in that case, I will simply leave you with my assurance that I would protect her with my life.
I don't know, markings or something. I felt them on her this morning. I tried finding them.
I'm
again.
glad to
She
hear
got
it.
Mad at me and hissed.
She does that well.
Oh,
Most likely BB just
oh yeah.
tackling around the throat.
Oh, I'm sure that's probably what it was.
Because I've seen them do that a lot.
The two of them were biting each other a couple nights ago or last night. I can't remember.
He looks down and kind of studies his quill for a moment, just thinking.
Kit around where it was, and Kit was getting angry. She wasn't.
Did you
sweating at me,
send
but she was
Abigail in?
growling, and then she put her paw on my hand,
course.
dug her claws in a little
She
bit,
will
pushed away,
bow again
hissed,
and leave.
which was kind of funny. But then I got mad at her. I was like, "Don't you
And,
fucking hiss at me, bitch!
I guess go back to the
Yes,
dining
swipe
hall.
all you want,
Mhm.
but don't you hiss."
And walk up to Zoe.
Actually, don't even swipe all you want. That shit hurts.
Your father would like to speak with you
Hopefully not.
upstairs. Quietly. Like, not a whisper, but just quietly.
So he looks like a little confused, but we'll follow her father's wishes for once
Mm-hmm.
and go see him. Tap lightly.
Enter.
She walks in and curtsies. You requested me, father?
He smiles a bit. You don't need to do that here. Close the door, please.
She shuts the door and walks over to him. Probably around the desk to stand on his side.
Mm-hmm. Your friend was just in here. She seems to have some concerns about the Platinum Army. I hope you haven't been getting into too much trouble.
No, she just has seen what they do to people they perceive as evil. And she worries.
It is not always a bad thing to worry. You have been keeping a low profile while home, have you not?
Yes, Father. I keep my cloak up and hidden.
That's good. You may wish to sit down.
She goes around and sits on the chair in front of the desk.
I do not want you to feel as though this is your problem. And I wish that this is something that I could protect you from. I think it is something that I can protect you from, but a little bit of caution doesn't hurt. This cult that you talked to me about yesterday, the Children of Kirol, they are here in this city. Their
For how
presence,
long?
they have only really been active for the last 6 months, but we assumed that they were starting to build a presence here before that.
I think Zoe actively looks scared.
He reaches over the desk to take your hand.
Zoe's shaking. She tries to speak and nothing comes out.
He gets up from the chair, comes around to the desk, and gives you a hug.
Do you know where they hide in the city?
We have a pretty good idea. Abigail, this is not a fight that you need to fight. It is my understanding that your friend's presence has been requested outside the city relatively soon. As much as I wish that you could stay, perhaps it is for the best.
My friend was here to kill them. Cathana, that's correct, right?
Bring them to justice would be the more accurate representation of what he would say. See justice done.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that was the proper reason.
This cult killed dozens of people in his homeland, including his entire family.
They tried to kill me and did more damage to him.
I understand. He takes a long time to speak. He seems to kind of be struggling with the words.
Father, why have you been spending so much time away from home? Late nights.
I suppose I should be honest with you. This cult, the children, they have been growing in power very quickly. And it has caught the attention of some of the other groups in the city. In a very negative way. Particularly the Church of Fortune.
Well, I mean, they don't want people taking their power away.
Exactly.
One ruling evil party is enough for this town, this city.
To be honest, we had hoped that their presence might take the church down a peg or two. But with the incident this morning...
Incident?
There was a rather unfortunate accident.
Murder.
Yes.
Don't use their taglines with me, Father.
I apologize. The man that was murdered, we do believe, was very highly involved with the children. It seems that whatever tensions have been brewing between them are coming to a head. Hopefully they will destroy each other. But I am not holding my breath.
How many will they take down with them? Even if that did happen. I've watched one city in flames this year. I don't want to hear about another one.
Abigail, the Church of Fortune has been eating away at this city for decades and decades.
Maybe it's time to do something about that.
Were it that simple. I'd hoped that this group might do some of that work for us, but given your history with them, I would recommend a great deal of caution in the city for the next 2 days.
So he just gives a small nod.
All right.
Thank you for being honest, Father.
It is difficult for me to deny that you're growing up now.
With that, she gets up, walks around the desk, and gives her father a hug. You'd be amazed what a hug can do for this world. Are there any other secrets, Father?
Oh, there's always secrets. You should go see your sister.
I will, Father. goes to the door, opens it, curtsies now that the door is open, and leaves. And goes straight for Kamal.
Mm-hmm.
Kamal, can I please speak to you in private?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so the quietest secret spot in the house is the upstairs library in the back corner. So she goes there.
Okay.
Moving quickly. Like, probably as fast as you've ever seen Zoe move.
Okay.
Kamal, I need your help.
Okay. With what?
The cult is here.
And I think his eyes just flare silver. Where?
I don't know. I don't know where exactly. I was just told they're growing in the city rapidly. And they're fighting
Who told you?
my father.
Presumably he knows where they are.
I don't think so, and I'm not sure he'd be willing to share. He wants us to leave as soon as possible.
He just shakes his head.
I
No.
need your help clearing them out of the city.
You have it. I know how these people operate. You know how these people operate. We leave, we'll come back to families dead. Or worse, we'll come back to Marielda.
I think worse would be coming back to families dead and nothing here. At least we were able to do some good in Marielda.
He puts a hand on your shoulder. Get the rest. Get them here. We'll work on a plan.
Speaking of the rest, what's everybody else doing?
Was dinner still happening, or?
Dinner has ceased. Everybody has gone their separate ways.
I guess I'm just hanging out with Amma and Melas.
Yeah. It's weird being in this, like, huge house. Aside from a couple of servants bustling by, there's not really anybody here.
I think Rizwan is just somewhere 1,000 yards staring.
Mm-hmm.
There's a problem, and nothing she can do about it.
And, Pert's MIA.
Oh yeah, Perd went away.
So, Zoe and Camille, you are able to find Fire and Emma and Rizwan fairly easily. Pert seems to not be anywhere.
Where's Pert?
If you go to his room, you would find his new, clean clothes very carefully hung up, and all of his traveling gear gone.
Went to do Perd stuff. I don't know.
Why would he take all of his gear?
Like, the dog head is still here, and his...
You need to clarify that. Because
Sorry.
when you all of his traveling stuff, I just assume you effed off out of the city.
His traveling clothes is what I meant.
Okay.
So that the pretty new clothes hung up. The clothes he's been wearing for a month gone.
Okay, so your clothes, your traveling clothes are what you're wearing right now, but your backpack, all that shit is
Backpack, journal, 90% of his stuff is here.
Okay, because you said
So
gear, and
yes, no, I realize the confusion.
I mean, if his journal's here, he's clearly coming back.
well, wait for him to go off on his adventure. The children of Karal are in the city, and they have been for several months. Looking at Zoe.
I was told they started becoming active about 6 months ago, but they were probably here before that.
And I just look at each.
Just so I'm aware, out of character, that's about the same time that Zoe killed a bunch of them, right?
Yup. It lines up with me rescuing Zoe.
It probably lines up with them being there to watch Zoe leave.
Yeah, most probably.
We can't let something like that fester in the city. They will.
That dead body we saw most likely was part of the turf war going on between them and the Church of Fortune.
So they're fighting the Church of Fortune, trying to wrest power away from them, and presumably from your father.
Question: do we like the Church of Fortune?
Fuck no.
Okay.
That was in character.
Okay.
At best, they're the enemy of my enemy.
They're still the enemy of my goddess.
The enemy of my enemy is still my fucking enemy.
I'm not denying that. I'm simply saying they're a tool that can be used.
And Jamie, just so you're remembering, the remember has been put away since we've been in the city.
Okay.
But we don't know where to start, and the person who can help us find things in the city is out gallivanting around. So we can wait for Kurt to come back.
Wait, I raise a hand. In his defense, because I know you will scold him, we didn't know.
I know.
We were.
I'm just frustrated.
I can get that.
Well, you're gonna like this even less, but we should lay low longer than that.
But Rizwin, you saw what happened to Marialda. Do you want that to happen here? Do you want what happened in Gargamon to happen here?
Rizwin will start to say something and then grab Camille's arm and drag him away from everybody else. And say very quietly but very forcefully, they won't care that she is the Prime War's daughter. They will cut her head off and parade it around the city on a pike.
You're assuming I let them.
Then they'll cut your head off and parade it around the city on a pike as well.
I think you're forgetting who and what I am, Rizwin.
They're led by somebody far older and far more powerful than you.
I'm not talking about divine power. I'm talking about an entire country that would go to war against them because they killed their religious leader. These people will play politics if they have to.
We should not draw attention to ourselves while they're in the city.
And if the cult draws attention to them?
Then they'll deal with them.
And cut Zoe's head off and stick it on a pike because she has horns.
Technically, they wanted to burn me alive.
If the cult... Sorry.
No, I'm talking about the
To
platinum.
clarify what Rizwan is saying, if the cult draws the attention of the army will deal with the cult, and we don't have to get involved.
Until they decide to investigate everyone in the city for suspicious cult activities, a la Spanish Inquisition.
Then we disappear.
Make a history check. Or
But
an intelligence check, Camille and Rizwan. Rizwan, you're pretty sure that, like, you know, these guys are a foreign army, and them invading a city on, like, a witch hunt would be... Like, you're pretty sure Blackcaster would be like, no fucking thank you.
In the same way that killing the Exarch of Carcamount would be, we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I am going to say that Rizwan is not, like, she thinks they do whatever the hell they want. They kill who they think is bad, and they don't care who gets in the way.
But at the very least, if a foreign army comes into Blackcaster on a witch hunt, Blackcaster will probably push back on that.
So, to understand and put the cards on the table, we have this cult who's very bad and we need to take care of it. It's been here for 6 months. The city has its own edgy, bad people's group that's fighting with them.
Been here for centuries, presumably.
Okay, that's a lot of time. There's this group of fanatics who wants to fight quote-unquote evil, who are just happen to be there and will leave in a couple of days, they say?
They have indicated, at least as far as everybody knows, that they are just here picking up supplies and are leaving in a couple of days.
So, I see... I don't know which one is better, but we could start investigating and get into some action after they leave. Or direct these shining armor people into the evil cult. It's an
No.
option.
Don't want them in the city. I don't want any of them in this city. So why don't we pick something between the two options?
I was going to suggest we have Pert poke around for a day or two. He's good at it.
I was thinking that maybe you could go out as well. And to make sure I'm safe and Rizwan is safe from the people who cut our heads off, you will stay in this house. As long as you guys promise to do research, and find out. And do not leave me behind when we go kill them.
You have my word.
Hey, Ty.
Yes?
Does Rizwan believe that Zoe is actually going to willingly stay in the house?
During the day.
Eyes narrow.
I think it makes sense. I have no idea how to do any of that, but I'll be any help that I can.
Fire, you can make yourself very small and gaseous and listen.
That's true.
Small and gaseous.
Those were two separate things, but yes.
You can, with your ability to turn into animals, you can get into places no one else can.
So he looks at Alma and Melis. Melis might need to stay here too.
Aww.
I will give her a second pillow. Give him a second pillow.
Question: are we just having this discussion standing in the middle of Pert's room?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
We're like, oh, he's not here. Okay, let's talk business.
In fact, we're
Maybe
waiting.
he'll come back in the conversation.
Kamil's not leaving Pert's room until Pert comes back.
Speaking of Pert,
Yes.
how's it going?
Well, Pert's gonna sneak down to the fighting ring / thieves guild meetup, whichever that happens to actually be.
Okay. Make me an investigation check. I think
Sure,
you got like general directions, but
no problem.
okay. It takes you a little bit, but after like carefully watching, you figure out exactly which door it is.
And he is going full hood up stealth mode to make sure no one knows where he came from or follows him back.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Alrighty. Apparently distracted by something.
I'm just trying to figure out. This is like probably not just the sort of place you walk into, but I bet you could get in with the thieves' camp.
Yeah, and Pert would, when stopped at trying to enter, go into a general tourist asking questions, but using thieves' cant to make his actual meaning known.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure.
I think that's enough, especially because you have a rapier on you. You are led in. There is a staircase that goes down into a large open room with a bar on one side, a number of tables and patrons occupying them, and a few people with rapiers taking up a large amount of space on the opposite side. You see, there's a couple of pairs that are just practicing, and like an open pit that seems to currently be unoccupied.
And Pert will go straight up to the bar, and when the bartender acknowledges him, offer out his only silver piece and ask for something decent before inquiring what it takes to earn a spot in the pit.
The bartender gives you I don't know. What does Pert look like he would drink? Wine?
Very weak wine or very light alcohol. He's a fish.
Right.
He is literally a fish.
Then I think he probably gives you some wine, and says, if you want to fight, that's the person you gotta impress. And he points to one of the women who is paired off and just like practice sparring.
And unfortunately, Pert doesn't have a normal rapier, so he has his good rapier with him, so he kind of probably sticks out. But he will thank the tender, pay him the silver, and watch the lady as she spars for a few minutes until his glass is done or she finishes her sparring.
Okay. Yeah, you watch for a few minutes until she's done. She beats the other lady.
And Pert will place his glass down and take a step forward.
Okay.
Pull his cloak down and pull his cloak aside so that his rapier is now fully visible instead of just kind of hinted at. And inquire, is anyone allowed a chance to spar, or do we have to earn a round with your talent? Since it's clear she's pretty good.
She kind of looks you up and down a bit dismissively and says, if you think you would like to fight in our arena, then come show me what you can do.
And Pert will give a nod and walk to the spot where the other lady had been standing and unclasp the buckle on his rapier before drawing it.
All right.
Appreciated. Pert.
Alana.
And Pert will let her take the first move.
All right. I'm not really sure how to do this.
Do we want to just do like opposed acrobatics, athletics kind of thing?
Sure. Make me. Yeah, I know how we're gonna do this. Make me an acrobatics check.
Alrighty. Ouch.
Ooh.
Oops, that is the wrong dice. She, very easily knocks back your first couple of attempts. And you quickly find yourself starting to, be forced backwards. Make another check.
Alrighty. And Pert is going to eventually start, I'm not going to say cheat, but he's going to start trying to rely on his thief skills to help counterbalance things using sleight of hand to switch hands suddenly and stuff like that.
Okay.
I am not left-handed.
Exactly.
Sure.
Should I roll the sleight of hand or leave it for now?
Sure. Yeah, roll sleight of hand. You do throw her off for maybe like a second. And she gives you a bit of a cocky smile and says, "You're going to have to do better than that." And roll again.
Alrighty.
Oof. You start to find a rhythm. You start to push back, and very quickly it is her that is being forced back.
And Pert will grin a little bit and offer her the best glib comment Pert can manage, which is something along the lines of, "It takes a moment to get into the rhythm, but once I feel the movement, I think I can handle."
Seems you do have some skill after all. Roll again.
Wow.
And with that, she gets in close and just gives you a little cheeky elbow in the side and manages to disarm you.
And I think Pert would use that as an excuse to drop the rapier the second she tries to disarm him, taking one large step back and raising his hands. "Clearly, I've been bested."
You have some promise. You need a little more practice, though.
Yes, I appreciate the quick lesson and tips, Alana. Is there any chance you'd be interested in offering a further lesson, say any kind of raises an eyebrow tomorrow night, same time?
Make a persuasion check.
The dice are telling a story today.
She looks you up and down. I don't come cheap.
And from Pert's belt purse, he pulls out 2 platinum coins, rolling them over his fingers. "Is this close enough to your fee, or should I double it?"
That'll do.
And Pert will pass her the 2 platinum. "Tomorrow, same time, perhaps?"
I'll be here.
And Pert will bow. "I appreciate it. I shall see you then, Alana." And Pert will finish his wine off if it hasn't been stolen and leave.
All right.
And he'll probably tip the doorman a copper on his way out.
Doorman nods politely at you.
And Pert will hood back up and go the extra long way back to the mansion so that if anyone is following him, they are thrown the fuck off.
Okay. Make a stealth check. Yeah, you're pretty sure nobody was able to follow you if anybody was trying.
I mean, he did just spend 20 gold for the promise of a lesson that might not even happen.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone was dumb enough to go, oh, that guy's worth jumping. Anyways, yeah, Pert will take like an extra 2-3 hours making his way back to the mansion.
Alright. Oh, you do eventually get back, and you find everybody sitting in your room.
Does Pert have any bruises from that little back and forth?
I don't think there's any in, like, openly visible spots. Your ribs are a little bit sore. That's probably gonna bruise.
And he might be favoring his disarmed hand?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Pert will walk in, a little bit shocked at everyone's presence, and then give a bit of a shake of his head. No good information. What are you all up to?
The children of Corral in the city.
And he pauses. And he points at Zoe.
Mm-hmm. And Marielda and Carcamont.
I definitely
Oh,
should
yeah.
have asked more questions.
I wanted to ask clarification. Did we know there were them, the thing in Marielda?
I think Kamael thinks it's a fair probability.
I don't think you do know for sure.
No, he's making an assumption.
He's making an assumption, yeah.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
And Pert will give a sharp nod. I have an appointment with a contact tomorrow at this same time. I will inquire for more information on the cult. Perhaps that's the best way to get a quiet word in. Do you have other suggestions? Should we perhaps troll the docks?
I'm gonna troll the docks tomorrow and looks at Zoe, speak with the ambassador, and see if they've noticed anything over the past 6 months.
I stay here tomorrow.
Pert gives a bit of a nod. Rizwin, would you care to join me tomorrow night?
She stays here too.
Pert arches an eyebrow.
What were you doing?
Trying to make contact. I haven't been here in a long time, and the last time I was here was in my mercenary days, so I didn't exactly have a lot of chance to make many connections. I think I have one good link now, so I can try to feed her for information.
I feel like I would probably just get in your way. I am as much a liability in public right now as Zoe is.
You don't stand out right now when he points at your hair.
Pert offers a shrug. I would appreciate the guard at my back, but I understand if you feel uncomfortable.
I'll go with you.
You stand out too much.
I can go with you
Pert assesses fire.
as a mouse.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be a good idea. Mouse in my pocket to keep an extra set of eyes. You are also good at getting away if things go sour. And Pert looks back to Camille. You know the kind of people I'm suggesting I'm talking to. I don't think your presence would be healthy for conversation.
I go there in full plate armor. I'm sure I could scrounge up a ratty old chain shirt and a dented shield if I needed to.
Does Pert look convinced that Camille could blend into a crowd.
What's Camille's performance?
Tiny boy.
It's a
I
plus
mean,
5.
He might.
No matter what he
He
wears.
might work. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't you've never really seen Camille.
Put on an act.
Trying
Not
to
that I
blend.
can. Yeah, not that I can ever think of. So you
He-
don't necessarily know what his skill of it is.
You know, he can be very persuasive.
Yeah.
That's true. Pert will kind of bite his lip. If you can
How-
find a good. Sorry, go ahead, Zoe.
I was basically going to say, how about how about Camille does his best to hide, and he decide after based on how he looks, it would be good. So maybe 2 different groups wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Ooh, as a separate party. He is not with us, but come with us.
I will say that the city is rather. It is more spread out than Marielda. Depending on how many places you want to hit, you might have a hard time doing it as
Yeah.
one group in one day.
Yeah, maybe I'll focus on the political stuff and the docs and the talking to people and persuading them to give up information versus gathering intel, which is what Bert's good at.
Subterfuge.
I will point out, Fire.
Mm,
If you were to say sneak into someone's office and grab a bunch of papers and stuff them into a scroll case and you transform back into a mouse, they'll go with you, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Also, I would suggest that Amma comes with you. I will feel safer if anyone doing something is not alone.
I agree.
Whose office?
I don't know. I'm being hypothetically. Maybe, I don't know. Pert finds out that there's a high-ranking cult member at wherever they were tonight, and they have an office there. Fire can sneak in, grab a bunch of things that look cool, and sneak out.
Would Pert remember the cleric exists in the city?
That there's a cleric of Bashaba in the city?
Yeah.
You'd probably remember.
Yeah,
I
but we're
think-
also not talking about the cult. We're not talking about the Church of Fortune. We're talking about the Children of Kiral.
I know. I'm just because Pert was the one that knew that back when we first had the werewolf problem. It's been for Pert like 5 months, so I didn't know if he'd have that as a active thought.
Pert and Amelis, you hear a floorboard creak somewhere outside.
And Pert suddenly puts a finger to his lips, and then slides out the door. Who's there? I'm guessing Gwen?
It is indeed Gwen. She is not trying to sneak. As far as you can tell, she's just walking up the hallway and sees you and says, "Oh, is my sister in there?"
And Pert puts a finger to his lips and then waves her over.
She pokes her head in the door. I'm sorry, am I interrupting?
Nope. And Zoe goes out to see her.
Yeah, I wouldn't continue the conversation in the presence of a non-combatant.
Are we still going?
Zoe puts her finger to her lip.
Going.
Mao?
Yeah, we were just planning on going for a walk.
And Pert pulls his hood up.
I wanted to show her some of my magic.
And I know she's going to be leaving soon, so...
Riswin, I'll keep an eye on them.
I can go as a mouse.
Just don't draw attention to yourself.
I have had pretty good luck through that point in my life. I have a question. I'm trying to remember something.
Mhm.
Does Pert has a cloak of stealth, right?
Yep.
Cloak of Elvenkind. Yes.
Does that require attunement?
I'm gonna say yes, but I don't know for sure.
I don't remember.
Just
Should
check.
be on the card.
Requires attunement.
Yes.
Well, there goes that idea. What does it take to change attunement?
A day.
I think you can attune to more than one thing.
3.
Yes, but can it be attuned to more than one person?
Oh, that's very true. To change attunement requires a short rest or long rest. I
No.
think.
Check.
An attunement, you to attune to something, it takes an hour. And if it's already attuned to something else, it will disconnect.
I thought it was a long rest to do attunement.
I'm checking.
I might be wrong, actually.
I
Attuning,
do.
guys, just so you don't overtalk, I found it. Attuning to an item requires the creature spend a short rest focused on only that item while being in physical contact with it. This can't be the same short rest used to learn the item's properties. This focus can take the form of weapon practice, etc., etc. An item can only be attuned to one creature at a time, and a creature can be attuned to no more than 3 magic items at a time. Any attempt to attune a fourth fails. The creature must end its attunement to an item first. So Pert has to willingly sacrifice his attunement with that for Zoe.
No. The way that read is if you want to have a fourth, you have to deattune to a third item, then you can add a third.
A creature's attunement to an item ends if the creature no longer satisfies the prerequisites for attunement, if the item is more than 100 feet away in the last 24 hours, if they die, or if another creature attunes to the item. So, okay, you can overwrite Pert's attunement, he will lose his attunement, and then Pert could reattune it back after, theoretically.
Pert rolls his eyes and looks to Gwen, and then looks to Zoe.
Could I borrow your cloak?
And there's a moment of biting his lip before he unclasps the neck and holds it out.
Okay. So he takes it and goes and be like, I'll be with my sister. Thank you.
Pert's still following.
Pert, this is sister time.
Weren't we talking about, not you don't going outside?
Yeah.
We can just be in the garden.
Ah, I thought you were meant to go away to somewhere.
No, we're just going to spend some time together. I'm going to show her some magic.
Okay.
I just give Zoe a very level look. Don't put your loved ones at risk. Don't.
Zoe just gives a nod and doesn't want to say anything in front of Gwen.
Like, it's the look of someone who has lost everything and does not want you to suffer that fate.
Pert is still going to, at the very least, follow them to the garden and keep an eye out in case they do leave the garden, because that's his cloak, and he's pretty sure Zoe's in danger, even if she doesn't want to admit it.
Gwen leads you away from the hall that the rooms are in. She says, "Is everything okay?" Everyone was being kind of weird.
Yeah. There's discussion about not leaving and leaving or where we're going to go. People aren't agreeing on things.
Oh. So normal stuff.
Pardon?
So normal stuff.
Oh, yes.
We're still gonna go though, right?
Of course.
And she takes your arm And the two of you walk through the house. Pert, make me a stealth check.
Sure. Turn off advantage.
Zoe can make me a perception check.
I would argue Zoe knows he's following because literally said he was going to follow.
You can know he's following and still not be able to perceive him.
You can know car's tailing you. You don't know where the car is.
I can't beat that, by the way. So
okay, so you're pretty sure Pert's back there somewhere, but you can't hear him, can't see him.
So remember those secret ways out of the town that I told you that?
Yeah.
Only Zoe-sized people can make through.
Mm-hmm.
She's going for one of those.
All right. So you take the lead. Gwen following you, Bert behind. And I think we're going to pick this up next week.
No.
Oh, no.
Because you all have learned a lot, and I want to give you some time to process.
Yeah, my brain's starting to play connect the dots about some stuff, Jamie, and I'm delighted and angry.
All the threads converge here. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
And Purchase can't wait to find out what his new contact can teach him, both useful to the party and useful to Pert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the dice were